Sijjin is a supernatural horror film series from Turkey debuted in 2014. The original title, Sijjin director Alper Mesci, returned to his horror works with this franchise after successfully making a pair of global box office hits. All the films are produced by Muhteşem Tozum and were released under the banner of his Muhteşem Film Studio. Right from the start, each of the films gained global acceptance and were quickly recognized as new wave of Turkish horror genre. The title of this franchise is derived from the Arabic word Sijjin, Sijjin, meaning either a book that lists the names of the damned or a prison, located in the bottom of hell. The word is derived from the word prison. It appears in the Quran in Surah 83, 7-9. A similar word, Sijil, appears in 21:104, often translated as scroll. Sijjin, 2014. The first film was about Uznur, a beautiful woman who fell in love with a man known as Kudret, who is her cousin. When she learned that Kudret is lawfully married to another woman, Nisa, the jealous Uznur seeks help from a sorcerer to unleash black magic against Nisa, only to cause Kudret's family to go through inexplicable troubles. However, the sorcery also affects and torments Uznur. Sijjin 2, 2015. The second film was about Hikran and Adnan, a happily married couple with their 1-year-old child. On the first birthday, Birol was squashed under a huge cupboard while Hikran was in the kitchen. 3 months later, in the cemetery, Hikran was alone crying over her child's grave. Then she spotted 2 women in black watching her. At home, Adnan accused her of being an irresponsible mother, and he will not be able to forgive her. Every day, Hikran washed the dead child's clothes and dried them, as she thinks he is alive. A friend of Hikran has pity on her and tells her to meet Abdullah Hoxha, but she refuses. Hikran is troubled by the women who seem to be evil, and she decided to go to Hoxha at once. Hoxha said that her son is in heaven with the angels, and she has been trapped in a bad spell which has a link with her aunt. Hikran goes to her mother's house to inquire about her aunt. Hikran's mother narrates her that she had a sister whose husband was a gambler, and he had killed his daughters brutally. Hikran stays and tells her grandmother that she missed Birol so much. The next day, Hikran goes to the aunt's village to know more. Adnan killed himself in the loss of Birol at his grave. Inside the aunt's house, she found an old doll which she kept. Hikran went to her mother again and asked for the aunt's photographs. Hikran returns home and searches for Adnan but didn't find him. Worried, she goes to Adnan's workplace to meet him, but his colleague says that he had not come to work for a while. Hikran gives Hoxha the old doll, inside which he finds a chit inside with an evil spell written on it. Hoxha said that there's someone who had summoned a demon to destroy her family. Sijjin 3, Kurmu Aşk, 2016. The third film was about Sudet and Orhan, 2 best friends who started a factory together. Sudet had a younger sister named Kader, whom Orhan was in love with and later marry, despite Orhan's parents' disagreement towards the marriage. One time, Orhan fired a worker named Halil, a chain smoker, for not following the rules. Later, Halil committed suicide by hanging himself at night. His wife Aise came to the factory the next morning and curses Orhan, promising that his life will be as dark as the black soil in her hand. Just then, Sudet, Kader, and Sudet's son Mehmet had a car accident which caused Mehmet to become paraplegic and Kader to lose her memory, suffering from amnesia. Ever since then, Orhan blamed Sudet for what happened and decided to take care of Kader in their house, even though Kader started being haunted by apparitions every time Orhan has to leave her for work. At the factory, Orhan refused to talk to Sudet. At their house, Mehmet began acting strange, making strange drawings, and talking to 2 unseen entities who promised to pray to God for his recovery if Sudet is willing to help them. At Orhan's parents' house, they are terrorized by the same entities, prompting Orhan to visit them and secretly put some protection amulets all over their house, only for his mother to throw them away once he had left, not knowing he put them and believing they are the cause of the haunting. As the result, the entities possessed Orhan's mother and caused her to bludgeon her husband to death with a rock before bludgeoning herself. After learning of their deaths, Sudet, not wanting to end up the same, goes to meet Abdullah Hoxha for help. After analyzing Sudet, Hoxha told him that the entities are jinns, and they wanted him to find Kader in Orhan's house. As soon as he arrived, Sudet sneaks inside and, while Orhan is distracted, goes to the root cellar, following Hoja's instruction. As Kader sees and follows him, he finds something covered in white sheet and uncovers it, only to discover Kader's rotting corpse inside. Just then, Kader's face turns demonic and one of the jinns appear as a humanoid creature, grabbing her from behind and dragging her into their world. It was then revealed that Kader had already died during the car accident due to Ace's curse, as she was unable to cope with Halil's death. And Orhan, unable to cope with Kader's death, dug her body from her grave and performed a ritual to bring her back. Instead, he had kidnapped a jinn and made her look like Kader, with no memories of her previous life. Angered by this, the jinn's parents started haunting Mehmet, asking for Sudet's help. They had also murdered Orhan's parents as revenge. It was the jinn's mother who appeared at the root cellar, while the jinn's father had distracted Orhan by making him hallucinate seeing himself and his mother outside. Ever since then, Mehmet had miraculously recovered and is able to walk. However, Sudet never knew what happened to Orhan afterwards, as he had disappeared, with some people starting a rumor that he had committed suicide to join Kader in the afterlife. At the end of the film, Orhan, who is still alive, visits his wife's grave one last time, with Kader's spirit calling out to him from behind as the adhan can be heard in the background.